I've been selling my art on Faire ever since 2021, so 5 years now. And I've learned a lot of things along the way. I've worked with dozens of stores, selling them my art prints like this one and larger sizes. So I'm going to share all of that knowledge with you here today so that way you can hit the ground running and start selling your art wholesale on Faire. Make sure to check the link in the description because it's going to take you directly to sign up with Faire if you want to start selling on the platform. If you've never heard about Faire, it's a wholesale marketplace. So basically, people like us who are handmade sellers can list our items on there, and it's absolutely free to list everything that you have for sale on their website. And I love this about Faire. Now, there is a little bit of a commission if you do make a sale, but if you don't make any sales, you're not out any money. So I think it's something that everybody should try because why not? I mean, it's free. And if you use Shopify for your website, literally in a couple clicks, you can integrate everything on your Shopify site with your Faire shop. And so it's a seamless integration. And then when you make sales on Faire, it shows up in your Shopify site. It also emails you from Faire to tell you that you've made a sale. So you get notified multiple ways, but it's very easy to upload all the products because of this integration. But either way, if you are selling on Faire without Shopify or with it, you can upload your products on there. And there are so many retailers looking on Faire to source products for their stores. So this is a great way to take the effort that you are doing with making, let's say, art prints or postcards, greeting cards, stickers, the commercial type items that you're making of your artwork. It's a great way to take those and then sell those in mass to lots of different stores, and then they can sell them to the customers for you. Now, the one downside to this is that you ultimately have to give the stores a 50% discount off of your retail price. So if your prices are already very low, then there might not be very much room for profit, especially if you're outsourcing some of the making of these products. So Faire works best for an artist if you're making all of the work yourself. So if you're making your art prints yourself, let's say you're selling them for $20 like I do on my website, and the cost of making this print is about $1, maybe $1.25. And so then if I sell it for $10, I'm still making around a $9 profit. So it's good for me in my business. But let's say I was outsourcing the production and I was paying $6 a piece for my art prints and then selling them for $10. I'd be making a $4 profit, but the profit margin wouldn't be nearly as much. And that's why I think that Faire is most well suited for artists who are making their art prints or postcards, stickers themselves. Another big downside with Faire is that as a seller, you can't get on their platform and see what other sellers are doing. So you have no examples of what is working. That's why I wanted to do this video to share with you what my Faire shop looks like, and then also give you some tips on how I'm handling the packaging and delivering orders to customers. Because for me, when I started all this, my first question was, okay, if I'm already selling my work for 50% less than retail, and then I'm cutting Faire in for a commission, so then that even further reduces my profit margin, who's paying for the shipping? Like, do I have to make sure that the shipping charges, like if I'm covering that, are also being covered within the price? Because if that's the case, and I'm having to ship, let's say from where I live in Kansas all the way to New York, it's a big order, the box is heavy, that could start to get pricey. So I was just running through all of these things in my mind, and personally, I was kind of stressing out about this because I didn't understand how the shipping works. But just to give you a little peace of mind on that, most of the time, unless the seller offers free shipping, the customer, the retail store who's selling your work, is going to be paying the shipping cost for their order on top of what they're paying you to purchase the order. Also, you get to set what your order minimums are. So I have mine set to $150. This means that stores have to purchase $150 worth of my art prints in order to be able to purchase from me on Faire. But I think if you are just starting out selling on there, you should have a little bit lower order minimum than that, especially if you're selling lower priced items like postcards and greeting cards. Because with postcards, let's say you're selling them for $1 a piece, they'd have to buy a whole lot of postcards to meet that $150 minimum. A retail store might not want to buy 150 postcards just to try you out as an artist. This is why some artists on Faire give out sample packs and other things like that to get a retail store interested in their work before requiring a large volume order. Now a little about packaging, because when you're selling wholesale, you don't need a package in the same way that you do when you're selling retail. And so for postcards or greeting cards, oftentimes these are sold loose without any other packaging around them. You could sell packs of them that are pre-packaged, but what I would suggest doing, if you have a stockist, that's what they're called, the retailers who are stocking your items. If you have a stockist reach out to you or even purchase through Faire and they buy, let's say, 24 postcards, you could message them before you ship out their order and just ask them if they would like these individually wrapped or if they would like them loose. And most often they'll want them loose because they have all those stands, you know, the circular ones that people move around and look at all the postcards and greeting cards in, or maybe a stand on their checkout counter. So you have to think about that. And if you were to individually wrap all of these, it would take a lot of your time, but also it's going to take a lot of their time or their employees' time to unwrap them, to stick them in the displays that they're selling them in. And the same thing goes for stickers. You don't need to individually wrap those unless you're selling sticker packs that come individually wrapped. Now, art prints are a different story because businesses don't have ways to display these, especially if they're all floppy like this. I mean, imagine giving a store like 30 or 40 of these with no backing boards and no bag and expecting them to sell them somehow, unless they were a framing shop and they were planning to frame them. I mean, it would be really difficult for a store to sell these. So you want to make it easy for them so that way they'll shop from you again and continue to stock your work in their store. So I have the print, and what I do is I have a backing board. I will include links to all of these in the description. I put the backing board behind the print. It's just loose in here. There is nothing taping it to it or anything, so that way the customer can frame it easily once they purchase. And then I have one of these bags. It's called a clear polypropylene bag. And just slide this in here. And I had some stickers made. Let me get one of them here, and so that way you can see it. It tells a little bit about my artwork. It has my website on there and that I'm located in Wichita, Kansas, because I want them to know that this is a small business from a local US company that made the artwork, because you have to realize that when a customer buys this in a store, they're not going to know who you are. And so if you give this little bit of branding later on, you can make sales off of selling art prints to the customer for those repeat buyers. They'll find one of your prints in the store and then they'll see your little website on the back. And I sell a lot of work this way. I can tell whenever I get a new stockist in a particular area because I start selling more art prints on my website after it. I also put a little bit of branding on the backs of my postcards. You can see here it says crystalcole.com. So that way everybody who is getting one of these or sending one of these will see my website. That way, hopefully, I can use these to get more leads and sell more art in the future. You can set shipping times. So if you want to ship within a couple of days, which is what I do since I'm making everything here myself, you can do that. But if you're outsourcing and you want to set your shipping time to, let's say, 1 week or even 2 weeks after they purchase, you can absolutely do that. And the Faire system doesn't penalize you or anything from doing that. You just need to make it very clear to the people who are purchasing your art on Faire that they know when that turnaround time is and how long it's going to take you to make the items and get them shipped to them. And also during the process, if you run into a snag somewhere, you can always email them. Or like I said before, ask them about the packaging just to confirm you're doing everything to fit their needs perfectly. Here is what my Faire shop looks like. So you get a chance to see a seller's actual store. So my listings are all pre-filled by Shopify because I use the Shopify integration, but you don't have to do that. You can upload the listings yourself, but these are all the photos that I have in my Shopify store, and it automatically syncs these up with Faire, and the same thing with the sizes that I'm offering. Now, if you want to offer custom sizes, or maybe let's say you only want to sell 8x10 size paper prints on Faire and not the rest of all these different sizes, you can certainly do that, but what you'll want to do is probably make custom listings, not sync it up using Shopify. Or if you do sync it with Shopify, you will want to make sure that it doesn't automatically update it so that you can get in and manually edit every single one of these listings. And so it just kind of depends on how much work you want want to put into it, but manually uploading them yourself is perfectly fine. That's what I did the first several years that I used Faire, because the Shopify integration is a new service that they have provided. It wasn't always that way, but I find it to be super convenient. You can also classify your items into collections, and I find this to be particularly helpful. I like to put my top 20 bestsellers, so if a stockist wants to come in and just quickly order, they don't have to look through all of my inventory. They can just order all of my bestsellers really fast, and anything that's going to save these shops time and set them up for success is a good thing. So if you know there are certain pieces of yours that sell better than others, make sure that they know that as well. At the bottom of most of the pages, you are going to see the reviews. Now, not every stockist will review you, just like on Etsy, if you're selling on there, not every person will review you. But what I found is the customers that seem to be repeats, like they always come back and buy every few months, they're more likely to give me a review than people that just purchase one time. But I like getting the reviews, especially the ones where they take pictures of what your art looks like in the packaging. This helps other customers know that, like this person said, my packaging is awesome. On the About tab, you can have a little bit about you, but I also make sure to put my packaging information so that way they know if there are any constraints with my packaging. It's also a good idea to put this information on every single listing. Although I'm not listening to this advice because I have a couple hundred art prints linked up into here, and I was not going to go back through and manually edit every single one and add that. And so that's why I just added it in the About section, and I was hoping that's good enough. I've never had any stores complain about how I package anything. But for best practices, if you don't have a huge amount of items synced up from Shopify, or if you are creating your listings manually, make sure, if you can, to add the section about how they're packaged in each item description. You can also upload a video. As you can see, one of my videos here of my art gallery and me painting, so they get to know me a little bit. They get a link to my Instagram, and they get to know what my order minimum is and the reorder in a minimum, and then my fulfillment time. Now, I couldn't finish up this video about Faire without giving you some marketing tactics to use to sell more art on Faire, because I gotta tell you, I've learned a lot of things over the years on there, and here's the one big takeaway. If you don't hear anything else from this video, is you need to bring your first customers, the first retail stores, to your Faire shop and get them to order from you directly. It's called Faire Direct, and Faire gives you a link that you can send out to any of the retail stores, maybe in your town or nearby areas to you, anywhere that you think your art would be a perfect fit and a good seller for them. If you reach out to them and get some of those first few orders and positive reviews in, it's going to help you get visibility on the marketplace, because just like all other marketplaces out there, without bringing traffic to your shop, you're not going to gain that initial traction that you need for Faire to start bringing people to you. Another tip is when you are trying to get your initial stockists or continue getting them, because it's better if you bring people to Faire rather than finding people on Faire. If a store shops with you through the link that you provide, you don't pay Faire a commission in most cases. And so this is much better. But doing this is actually pretty simple. What you want to do is figure out what niche you fit in. For me, I love getting my work in zoo gift shops because it sells like crazy in there and they always reorder, and it can be really good from a profitability standpoint for me and the zoos. Another type of business that's good for me are cat cafes. I love having my cat art in the cat cafes. It's so fun, and I always get lots of customers that go to the cat cafes, they purchase my art, and then they come and follow me on social media or happen to buy more of my work on my website. So it's always really good for a community building for me, because the cat people love my work and we get each other. You know, they're really my most niche group. And so if you can figure out where you fit in like that, where you have the most raving fans and the most ability to sell your work to a particular group, then contact those stores. And one of the best ways to contact the stores is using LinkedIn. I don't use LinkedIn for much else, but I got into so many stores back in 2022 and 2023 when I was first getting on and really pushing my Faire shop, I got into so many places by just reaching out to the gift shop managers or buyers in the niches that I was targeting. So if you're not on LinkedIn, definitely sign up for an account, start growing your networking circle on there, and contact all of the people that work at these businesses who are the buyers for your work. Faire also gives you the ability to put ads on your listings. So you can pay to play basically. You'll get more exposure, but it will cost you. Now, I've never experimented with this on my account, so I can't suggest whether it's a good thing to use the ads on Faire or not. But what I do think, all in all, is that it's really better if you're reaching out to those stores yourself, because not only are you saving on the commission, you're also developing a relationship with that store manager or whoever it is you're contacting about your work. And getting to know those people and being friendly can go a long way in getting repeat orders. Next, if you'd like to level up your social media skills to be able to sell more work, I have a playlist. You can check it out right here. It is the Fast Track to Success. It's all free resources, so take advantage of them. All right, I hope this video helps. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.